is one of the most difficult sports to play, no matter your age or skill level, although it can be very rewarding. I'm speaking about golf because it's been my favorite sport since I was about 2 years old, and I played it throughout my entire high school career, and I recently decided to play it during college because I love it so much. Today I'll be talking about the history of golf, the concept and general rules of how to play it, and the equipment and funds that you'll need to be able to play the sport. Golf is a challenging game, but it should be experienced by everyone if you're willing to try. According to Golf Travel Scotland, the origins of golf started in around the year 1400, and it was first discovered in Europe. The modern form of golf that we play today is thought to have been started in Scotland because, when people think of Scotland, they think of golf. Modern equipment for golf, such as clubs, balls, bags, and everything, was developed in the 1700s, and tournaments were formed later. Tournaments as in getting together with your friends and playing to win. That was developed in the 1800s. And the first golf club, or a place that you could be a member to actually go play on a real course, was developed in the year 1744, and around that same time is when the rules of golf were formed, and there were originally 13 rules. Now, the sport was first played on a kind of rugged terrain. Maybe there were a lot of hills, not very good grass, whereas today courses are very well kept and very groomed and probably a lot easier to play on than they used to be. The concept of golf is simple but difficult at the same time. You have to make a 2-inch ball get into a 4.25-inch hole in as least strokes as possible with a club that has a head that's about 3 times the size of the ball. The length of a hole in golf, which is where you play to get to the hole, is usually between 90 and 500 yards. And on a course, there are typically 18 holes, and the goal is to get through your entire round with 72 strokes or less. But that doesn't happen a lot unless you're a professional, unfortunately. The general rules, basically, you have to tee off on a tee box every single time you start your hole. The tee box is just a designated area where you can tee up the ball and go ahead and take your first shot. You are also responsible for keeping track of your ball and your own score, although in a tournament you have people that are keeping your score for you, but you're still responsible to keep your own score too. Water hazards and out-of-bounds areas are the most common types of penalties according to the USGA rules, and a water hazard can be found pretty much anywhere on the course, and if your ball happens to go into the water, you can take the ball out or drop another ball if you can't find that one, but you do have to take a 1-stroke penalty, and those penalties really do add up. And out of bounds is the same type of thing, except for if you hit your ball out of the markers, which most courses do have markers around the entire edge, and some have markers in the course where there's not like a highway or a cornfield in this case, but if you hit your ball and it goes out of bounds, you have to basically take a stroke for the distance and then take another stroke to drop another ball. The equipment needed for golf is very elite, in my opinion, because it's more expensive than a lot of other sports. You're allowed to have 14 clubs in your bag, which includes of a driver and a putter and your fairway, woods, and irons. And a set of clubs can usually range from about $500 to $2,500. And the bag to keep your clubs in can be about $100 to $300. In terms of golf balls, although you lose them a lot, they are only $15 a dozen, so that's not as much as the clubs. But it would be beneficial for a golfer to buy special golf shoes and even a golf glove, because the shoes can help you stay in place when you're swinging so your momentum doesn't carry you around, and the gloves can prevent blisters on your hands from the grips of the clubs. For professional golfers and even avid golfers, they like to have a club membership, which is just paying a flat fee for the entire year, usually, to be able to play on your local course or wherever course you go to. And that is a lot more convenient than having to pay green fees, which are just paying a fee for every single time that you play a round of golf. Golf can be one of the most enjoyable sports to play, even after getting through all the challenges. But it's definitely a sport that most people should try in their lifetime because you can play it through your whole life and it brings a lot of joy to your life also.